Say when. What I most remember about school milk was going down on a cold morning, taking the silver tab off, because I was one of the cool monitors, you see, and taking that first bit of cream off every bottle of milk and we would lick it off our fingers and carefully put back the metal caps and deliver this cold milk. Worst time was summertime. The milk was hot and it seemed to foam as you drank it. And it was always at the same time every day, 9:30. And down south it gets really hot, particularly around Christchurch area, and that milk stunk. And all I can ever remember now, when I sometimes smell milk that's been out in the sun, are those classrooms that stank of spilt milk. I remember frozen hands on the wire baskets. I remember broken bottles. I remember getting yelled at for dropping the bottles. But it was just fun. We enjoyed it. We felt like we didn't get a lot of food sometimes at home because there were like 1 million of us. There were 12 of us, and sometimes that milk was on top of breakfast. If we had a bit of toast, we had some milk, and it was cool.
I remember the big kids arriving with the milk, and I loved milk, so I always felt really excited about it. And I remember that the milk had a foil cap on it, and you used to have to poke the straw in through the foil cap. They were little glass bottles, and I remember looking forward to it every day. And I enjoyed it. And most of the time it wasn't too warm. Most of the time it was cold because the milk company was up the road from where I lived. That's my memory of milk in schools.
A tour?
Yeah.
Okay. Milk in schools. Well, I was in primary school in 1958. I started primary school, so that's quite a long time ago. And that was in New Lynn in Auckland, and I can remember getting milk in schools. I'm not sure how the milk came to the schools. I think they might have had trucks in those days, although there were probably still some horses used to draw carriages along that had milk. But the milk got delivered in glass bottles, about the size of a cream bottle. You know what a cream bottle is today? About that big. They were glass bottles, and they got left outside. So the milkman would come along and drop them off and leave them outside. Now that was all right if it was a cold day, but Auckland used to get pretty hot in the middle of summer, and the milk could sometimes be sitting outside for 2 or 3 hours before children collected it. So sometimes it tasted a bit. We didn't have fridges to put the milk into like we've got here. So monitors. You were a monitor, and you got to take the milk around the classes, and we used to sit down, and the milk had a little silver or blue top on it, I can't remember. So you'd either take that right off and drink it, or you'd poke your straw through the top, because you got straws as well, and suck all the warm milk out. Cardboard. No, it was glass bottles. Yep.
No, not cardboard. Anyway, I've interrupted.
Yep. So you had the glass bottles, and then after we'd finished the milk, we put them back in the crate, and then other monitors came along, and I think they rinsed them out and then left them back outside for the milkman to pick up.
Okay.
I don't think it's as nice as the milk you're getting today, because it's been left outside, but I'm pretty sure it had cream in it, nice little bit of cream at the top, which was really yummy if the milk was nice.
Well, I remember having milk when I was at Worcester Bay School, and we had our milk collection box down at the bottom court, and it caught the morning sun, which is when the milk was delivered, and it used to sit there, and I hated the milk. It came in little glass bottles, and I thought it had a wooden cardboard top on it. I might have remembered that wrong. But again, it did have a little hole you could poke through to put your straw into. We had big boxes of straws in the classroom. And I was never a monitor, but I was just delivered this milk, usually in the morning, usually about, I don't know, it might have been morning tea or just after morning tea. And it's put me off milk for life, basically. I just didn't like that hot milk. I like cold milk, milkshakes and things like that.
My memories of milk in schools, well actually I'm far too young to really remember it, so they've just pulled me in because I'm quite a young teacher. But my one memory, well, I've got two memories actually. One is the soggy straws we used to have. You had to try and get them into, well, the straws weren't soggy to start with, but you had to try and get them into the tinfoil lid, wasn't it? Tinfoil lid. And then you had to poke the straws in, and then they got really soggy. And by halfway in the little bottle of milk, they were really, really soggy. And my other memory is one day one of my friends, this is when I was probably a year 4, I think, and she'd been coughing a wee bit, and she used to bring a little teddy bear to school that she had on her desk, and she was coughing through her milk, and then unfortunately she coughed up a whole lot of spew, and it went on top of the teddy bear. And I'll never ever forget the little teddy bear covered in frothy milky spew. Those are my only memories, real happy memories of milk drinking in school. So we've got it good these days.
Okay, I can remember milk in school because I'm very old. We had glass bottles with cardboard tops, and we had to poke a hole in and put the straw in, and the milk was stored out in crates in full sunlight, and it had huge thick cream on the top of it that you had to break through. And I can remember seeing quite a few children, when they drank it, throw up on the mat. I didn't, but because it was so warm, we didn't have it like now. It was a lot thicker, the milk, and it was in a glass bottle, and we had monitors to give out the straws and collect the bottles, and they had to be sent back to be washed. And the milk was yucky tasting, but we had to do it because our parents said so. It was good and healthy for us.
I've been asked to talk about my memory of milk in schools when I was at a primary school. And I must say, yes, we did have milk in schools. I went to a little tiny primary school way down south of Dunedin, so a long way from here. And it was a little village on the beach, and we had milk in schools. I remember it was delivered in milk crates, not in cartons. It came in glass bottles, and often it used to sit out in the sun until we drank the milk, so the milk sometimes was quite hot and tasted yucky. Some children were sick because the milk made them sick. One job I had, because I was a milk monitor back in those days, one job I had after we delivered the milk to all of the classes, we didn't of course fold up the glass bottles like you people do now. We had to go and wash the bottles, and we had to rinse all of the bottles out before they went back in the crates, and that used to take us a long time. We used to do it very slowly and mucked about so that we wouldn't have to do our maths or our reading. We had to clean the milk bottles, so it took a long time, and I'm sure sometimes our teacher wondered where we were or why it was taking so long. But I think the milk in schools now, the children of today are much luckier than we were in the past, that the fact that the milk is now delivered in a Tetra Pak cartons, and also it is kept in a refrigerator before we drink it, rather than having it straight out of the sun.
I remember milk in schools. In fact, I was a milk monitor. And we had, this was at Kilburney School, which is just up the road, and we had a special area in the fence where the milkman would deliver a crate, probably more than one crate of milk, and it would sit there all morning until probably morning tea time, and we would go and get it. In summer it would be warm, and in fact it would be slightly off, but you would deliver it around. And the favourite thing was that we had one relief teacher who used to bring little packets, and I think they were Hansels, and they were little packets of milkshake, and she would put it in our milk, and it was the nicest milk then. But apart from that, it's really horrible because it wasn't cold. It was, I think we'd probably been sitting around for hours before that, even then. That's my memory of it.
you would like me to talk about milk in schools and the way we've implemented it and some of the challenges we have. Is that right? Yes, okay. Well, the Milk in Schools program seems to be going very, very well at Lyell Bay School. We have good, reliable monitors that take the supplies to each class every day. As far as I know, that having milk straight after lunchtime each day is a good idea, that people come in from the playground and it's a good thing to have their milk while the children are doing something quiet and settling down after being running around for the lunchtime. One of the things we have had a problem with is the supply of milk. Sometimes we've actually run completely out of milk, and that was something that we have to work on in the future to make sure that we have milk available every day, because if we get out of the habit of having milk at the school, then that becomes a problematic, because we want to see milk in schools as being a regular thing and just a good habit for people to get into. Our recycling is going very well, and the children have learnt to fold the containers and put them in the appropriate wheelie bins very well, and that's a very good part of the program. So all in all, I think Milk in Schools is going very well at Lyell Bay, and we hope it continues for a long time.
Awesome. Yep.
Anna, what are you doing? Doing milk. Yeah, so what happens when you do milk?
Well, we get some boxes and take them to the milk box.
So Sophia, tell us, what happens when the milk gets delivered?
Yeah, what happens when the milk gets delivered?
You put it in a closet, you meant. No, but what happens afterwards with the people who get the milk delivered to them?
Yeah, so do you put it in the fridge?
Or do they drink it? Do they drink it?
I'm Eva. I'm a milk monitor for Lyell Bay School's Milk. I think delivering the milk is really fun. The process is the milk truck delivers the milk to the school, which the milk monitors then put in the fridge. Then the next day, when the milk is all cold, the milk monitors take it to the class, take the numbers, and then take it to the classroom.
So what do you mean by take the numbers, Eva? Can you explain that to us?
Sure. They go into the staff room and the numbers are up on the board. The numbers are how many people have milk and how many people are there today. So, say for instance there are 28 people in S1 and 3 of them don't drink milk. That would mean there is 25 people that need milk. Those are the numbers. They record that in the book and then they have to get that much milk to take back to the classroom.
Okay, so Eva, as a current milk monitor, what classrooms do you deliver
M1,
to?
M2, M3 and of course our classroom is.
Oh, nice!
Okay, Milk in Schools. Right, I think it's been great for my class. It took a bit of time to get them used to folding the boxes up, and we had quite a bit of mess spilt on the tables, but now there's hardly any milk dripped on the tables, and the children are drinking it a lot faster and not messing around, and they're not having any trouble, and they know it's doing them good. It's got lots of calcium in, and I've told them their teeth and bones will be good. So I've only got about 5 children that don't have milk in the classroom, so most of them do, and I think it's been a very positive thing. I think it's been great for them.
Another otter. Can you hold it up? Nice. So
I'm here with little Zoe from J7 and I'm going to ask her about the milk we drink in schools. So Zoe, do you like the milk?
Yes, I do.
And can you describe what the milk tastes like to you?
For it's like little, like creamy. It's like cream and then it's like mixed in with other stuff and then it's just like all sliding, slippery, and it's really nice and cold.
Oh, that's so nice. We're here with Hugo. Hugo, what do you think of the milk in school? Do you like it?
Yes.
That's good. And what do you think it tastes like?
I think it tastes quite sweet
Yeah?
and I really like it.
Okay, that's good.
we're just here with Sarai. We're just going to ask you a few questions about the milk in schools. Do you like the milk? What do you think it tastes like? I like it because they do extra creamy and cream. So yeah.
I'm here with Yusra from S3 and I'm going to ask her some questions about the milk in schools that we drink. So Yusra, do you like the milk that we drink?
Yes, delicious. Gross.
And can you describe what it tastes like to you?
Creamy, delicious, sugary, and chilled.
Yum. And
Hi, we're here with Asha as a milk drinker. Hello, Asha.
Hello.
How do you think the milk tastes at school?
But to be honest, it's like really nice. Sometimes it's creamy, sometimes it's not, but overall it's quite nice.
So that's good. That means you like it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Caretaker Allow-based school, and from what I've heard, it's mostly the caretakers' jobs to do this part of the milk process. Once all the cartons have been drunk by the kids, they're folded up in a special way like this, so we can fit more in a bag. And then once the bags are full, like that. What I do is I go around the school and we've got 7 bins around the school, and once a week I go around the school, grab all the bags out and put them down by my shed, and then when the milkman comes to drop off the milk on Thursdays, he takes these bags away and they're then shipped off, put into containers and shipped off to Thailand, where they're turned into building products for canoes, boats and buildings. And they're turned into big sheets of this stuff here. This is a small piece that they gave us when they started the program, just to show what happens to it. But these sheets are really big. They're 1200. They're 1200 by 24 long, like a big sheet of plywood, and they're really, really strong. And they use them for all the building quite a lot of the building in Thailand now. So that's what happens. Also make so they use them for canoes and all fiberglass, and they'd have special enamel paint. They wouldn't look anything like that. It's like when you build a house out of wood or wooden boards. When they're finished building the house, you don't see the wood at all. All you see is the finished product, and it's the same with these. Yeah. So, and that's what they're like.